In the headship of a husband, they should see the servant leadership spoken of in Ephesians 5, which I will read part of. Husbands, love your wives just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her to make her holy, cleansing her by washing her with water through the word, and to present her to himself as a radiant church without stain or wrinkle or any other blemish, but holy and blameless. In the same way, husbands ought to love their wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself. Christ gave himself up, he died to make his bride holy and spotless. That's the definition and the model of headship that husbands are given. It doesn't sound much like the Archie Bunker definition of headship, or, sadly, the one that you hear from many teachers and preachers who should know better. Being the head in a marriage does not mean that you are qualified to get all the perks and all the privileges, and the little woman is around to supply them. In Matthew 20, Jesus said to his disciples, this is starting at verse 25, "You know that the rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and their high officials exercise authority over them." So now he's going to redefine authority, okay? "Not so with you. Instead, whoever wants to become great among you must be your servant, and whoever wants to be first must be your slave, just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." The night before his death, Jesus re-emphasized his redemption of power and authority by washing his disciples' feet, that's John 13, vividly showing that he, their Lord and Master, was exercising his authority by being a servant, and so they were obligated to act in the same way. Jesus took the ego and the self-centeredness out of authority and redefined it as the capacity and the desire to serve, even to die, in order to bring about the happiness and the holiness of his church, his bride, his people. And sidebar, even though I'm focusing on marriage here, bear in mind that the church is the household of God, so the authority of elders or leaders needs to be the same kind of sacrificial servanthood, the people who do the scut work, the long hours, the boring, painful meetings. But I digress.